Fox Valley Voice.
1, 2, 3.
Man, have you seen the trailer for that Battlefront 2?
No.
They did a new trailer. It is the most amazing Star Wars thing I've seen in a while. Oh, it's good. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hold off until Last Jedi comes out, and then I'll dive deeper back into Star Wars again. I have to pace myself throughout the year now because there's so many different things coming out. It's nuts.
Did you see Thor?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah. So we're here in the hallowed halls of Beardsguard after dark, as is tradition, with Chris Prunckle. Hi, Chris.
How's it going? I feel like with the after dark thing, I should have like red shoes on or like Red Shoe Diaries. Like it seems all steamy. Yeah.
I mean, nobody can see this, so you could be wearing
You could see it though.
patent leather pumps. It's a terrifying sight.
Yeah. My legs would look marvelous in them though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got calves.
You seem like you have youthful calves.
Yeah. I played soccer.
Oh, good for you.
I try. Yeah. I haven't done it in years. The belly shows.
Yeah. It happens.
Exactly.
So tell me about a little bit about yourself. Where do you hail from?
Okay. So
Get a little background.
I born and raised on the south side of Chicago. So I grew up, spent the first 18 years of my life there until I went away to college. Went to school in Wisconsin. Did that whole thing. Wisconsin is Wisconsin.
It's a state.
It is. It's a state. They're known for cheese.
It's good cheese.
It's very good cheese.
I will make the drive to go for Wisconsin just for cheese.
Saw a lot of good shows there. It was a good time. Yeah. But yeah,
Milwaukee's
that's all.
fun.
Yeah, Milwaukee is fun. It's gotten better too.
Good.
Yeah, when I was there, it was a little questionable, but it's gotten a lot better. A lot of good shows there, so that was good. Other stuff about me. I'm a wannabe artist. Wannabe comes up a lot in my life. And yeah. But
I think we all want to be. Something.
That's what's perfect about the term. We all want to be something. So I work in the advertising industry, and I run a studio for the advertising industry. So there's that. I have a beard, which is how I met you.
Seems to be a common thread.
It's one of those things where I heard about the place and came in and we became friends, which works out kind of well. Yeah,
it was quick.
It really was. And then we lucked out where that we have little ones that are the same age, so they became friends, and it became this nice symbiotic unit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah, I can't complain. And then anything else about me?
You don't know me that well.
Well, that's true.
Many years ahead.
We got plenty of time. I'm in Batavia now, so I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
so.
This is great though. I'm enjoying it a lot. With the wannabe thing, because I've been following you on Facebook and Instagram, doing the Midge I Press. So how did you come up with Midge I Press? Where does that come from? Because I've been wondering about that for a while.
I'm gonna preface this by saying it is not PC. So we're just gonna preface it there.
You can. This is an NSFW.
Okay, good. You know what? I meant to ask that before we started recording, so we can swear.
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, good.
Sorry to any children who might be overhearing that, but also not really.
So, it's actually Midge I Press. Why I spelled it that way? I just liked the flow of it, but the term Midge I came up. I have a close friend who decided that the plural for midgets should not be midgets, it should be midgi. And when I started doing comics right after graduating from college, I decided that, we're small, we're putting them out ourselves. Midge I Press would be a good name for our company because it kind of means small press.
Right.
So Midge is
in like a horrible non-PC kind of way.
And the original logo was 3 midgets dressed as the Magi.
Oh,
So
Oh,
you asked.
I did ask. It hurts a little.
And it was just one of those things, and now it's really gone beyond that. It was just kind of like an online handle I just kept using over and over again because I didn't want to just use my name, especially when I'm a little bit older. So because of that, like people weren't just going out there using their name online. So
Yeah,
it was something,
some kind of a handle.
Before that, I was big into ska, so it was, and my nickname was Casper, so I was Scasper for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because with ska, you always sit there and add ska to the name. So
Absolutely.
yes. So and on like Xbox and stuff, I still go by Scasper. So some of those have stuck around, but Mitch I Press has mainly been a big thing that I've gone by online, and it's all because that was the first comics that I put out.
Nice.
Which those are an event as well. It was a comic called Fisted.
Oh.
And
Do I want to know, or do I already know?
It was about a teenage superhero who had a giant fist, and what happened?
Oh, like Cockknocker.
Yeah, but before Cockknocker, we were around pre Cockknocker.
Looking at you, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith steals all the great ideas. So
At least he recognizes that they're great.
that is true. So it was about a kid who was trying to get a candy bar stuck in a vending machine. The building got struck by lightning, and it caused his hand to enlarge, and it gave him superpowers in his hand. And his sidekick was the Green Postman, who was a horny mail carrier that also fought villains with mail-themed weapons. So he threw like letter bombs and things of the such. So it was very much in the lines.
Stomp with like huge boots.
It was in the lines of Tick. I'm trying to think of the villain in the first. We only came out with 2 comics, and I can't even think of the villain in the first comic. Oh, Odd Duck was the villain in the first, which was basically just a dude dressed as a giant duck, and he had a sidekick called Platypussy, which was a cat he tried to turn into a platypus by sticking its tail in a waffle iron.
Oh, man.
And then put a duck bill on it. So there was that. And then in the second comic, the villains were Sugarbeard, who was a pirate pimp, and his Hobot, who was a robotic hoe. So who had giant mace knockers. We were young. It was the early 2000s,
Yeah, just kind of whatever ridiculous thought popped in your head, and you're like, oh, I'm going to put this down and just work it out and figure out something to do with it.
Exactly.
It's a lot of what we do here.
Our first convention, we got thrown in the porn aisle of the comic convention, which there was nothing pornographic about what we did. It just so happened.
It's just a really adult level of humor.
Exactly. Like I think on the first page we did like a caution page because it was adult, but it really wasn't that raunchy or anything. But we did do, I think it was 22 names altogether we came up with for boobs, like different names like sweater puppies and something udders was one of all the common names for boobs.
I've heard many female comedians, especially recently, have come out and really just opened up my eyes and ears to a plethora of names that they can use as alternatives. None that I can remember off the top of my head, but I remember sitting there and giving a good laugh.
I'll have to bring it. I'm kind of ashamed of the comics. I've grown so much of an artist since then, but there are definitely parts of it that are really solid and they're worth maybe revisiting.
Yeah.
Like,
bring it back in some way.
I've talked about it with my buddy that maybe we should, but we have like, I think we have like almost 1,000 of these books still sitting around. So if anybody wants to buy some, we got plenty of them for sale.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd be interested.
There we go. We had a good, it was great. Like we even had a letter section we wanted to do called the mail sack. But of course, it was MALE.
Right.
We really had a strong theme. I just felt like we might have been ahead of our time. So
yeah.
Because in the PC world we're in today, that would go over great. So
totally. Yeah.
I mean, we weren't doing anything wrong. We're just having fun. So Nobody has to know what Midge I Press means.
Yeah.
Yeah. And technically, can it be offensive if no one knows what the word means?
That is probably not.
It's something to think about, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, now the people listening to this will know, but most
Right.
people would
Sorry.
never. Yeah. I mean, if the audience grows huge, I might have to change the name, but, we'll see.
Or not, or just own it.
Yeah.
Or tweak the definition of it.
Yeah.
Could've grown
Which
into
that could
something else.
easily be. It could easily be like I could come up with something with the Magi, like to make fun of. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at nerd.
yeah,
Nerd
exactly.
it was a horrible connotation. It was a derogatory word for years.
But
and then
you brought up Kevin Smith, and there are certain things you can't take back.
true. I love you, Kevin. But no, like just words and meanings change over time, and the way things have shifted, especially for people within this like nerd and geek culture, it's become an empowerment thing. So why not? Same thing with bitch.
I was
Empowerment now.
This is really sad. So you bring up nerd and the way it changes. I was watching Liv and Maddie, which is a Disney show for anybody not aware, before coming over here, starring Dove Cameron, that the little one likes to watch. And in it, they were making the joke that this kid, they moved out to California and he was doing a little comedy routine. He was talking about being a nerd and how he loved walking around and seeing all the girls wearing like I heart nerd shirts or I want to marry a nerd and all that.
Yeah.
And he's like, but the problem is they're big buff jock guys wearing glasses and all of a sudden they're nerds. Like it's still not the nerd that's cool.
It's become a fashion thing. It's not
Exactly.
the real.
It's not the poor guy playing D&D in his basement. Like
So me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've found my nerd love.
Well, that's the one I say. And I felt this my whole life. As I was lucky, I found my people in high school. Like,
Yeah.
you find your people and
You
you're
get
good.
you kind of have your small core group, and then as you get older, and especially now with the internet, we can get out there, and then there's chat rooms, forums, Facebook pages just abound.
Get angry at the new Punisher TV series. And
I'm excited.
I'm really excited.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was just having an argument about that because somebody was saying that the character really doesn't have any depth to him, and I was like, "Where have you been? This character's been around for 40 years. Almost always had his own comic. At times in the 90s, he had 4 comics going at once.
Oh yeah,
Garth Ennis had some amazing runs on it. Every action movie, pretty much from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, is basically a Punisher movie. Like it's."
You're more or less.
He can fit kind of wherever you want him to go.
Yeah.
One of the things that came up
One of the few characters to cross over completely into all of the other Marvel properties.
He's Batman with a gun.
Yeah.
It's a revenge story. And I still say this is, I know this is going on a crazy tangent, but I think.
It's what we do.
Good.
Tangent away.
I think the best Punisher movie ever made, which wasn't a Punisher movie, was Man on Fire with Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a great revenge story about a guy just taking on everybody and whooping their ass.
Yeah. Just laying waste.
Oh God, it's so good. It's so good.
Beautiful.
That and there's another one with Kevin Bacon called Death Sentence, which is really, really good too. Which is basically Death Wish, but a little bit more hardcore.
And less fantasy mysticism.
Yeah. Well, the first Death Wish was more straightforward. I just watched a really good documentary that was kind of on that. I can't remember the name of the company that put those out. And it was talking about how the first Death Wish was pretty much a straightforward revenge story. But then, after that, how all the sequels kind of went like really off the rails into like exploitation type movies and just out there. But still fun.
It's still fun. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy some of the long running, absurd amount of sequels types of movies, because it just takes the core concept and says, what else can we do with this? How far can we push the envelope into absurdity, and you're still going to watch it and you're still going to have a good time watching it?
I just watched a 7-hour documentary on the Friday the 13th series. So yes, I love my ridiculous sequels. And then there's a great almost 4-hour documentary on the Nightmare on Elm Street series too. So
Okay.
yeah.
No, I got to check that out.
Yeah, they're well worth your time. Yeah. It gets into really weird like aspects too, like all the behind the scenes things, and they do a really good job in both the series of getting all the actors and everything to come back and talk about it. The both of them have their one gay sequel where it was very like the second Nightmare on Elm Street was really embraced by the gay community. And then there's one where the Friday the 13th where they didn't realize that all the lead actors in it were gay. Cause especially at the time it was made,
Right.
people weren't coming out, especially as actors.
It was still kind of hush.
And so they talk about how they kind of gain this life after, even though they weren't necessarily great sequels, but they gained this whole life after with a whole other community. It was real interesting.
It's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
I mean, art, life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a beautiful balance.
Exactly. And it's just those weird little tidbits and being a horror fan and everything else. I did say horror. I always get criticized that I make sure to say both R's in there so that people know that I'm talking about horror and not horror fan. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good distinction to make. Well, thank you for making the distinction.
I mean, you could be a fan of both.
And they tend to go hand in hand. There's usually some horrors in horror movies.
Exactly.
They don't end well.
No. If you show your boobs, you're dead. Yeah.
Almost always.
Oh. Can you think of one offhand? I'm trying to think. Like, maybe that's what we make. Maybe we make a horror movie where the slut wins.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Final Girl.
Yeah. Which there's actually two good movies called, one's Final Girl, one's called Final Girls, but both are quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, because, just another one to shun the stereotypes.
Put it on the list.
Yep. Done.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to get that made. Not on our budget.
No. We'll start small. We can figure it out.
There's going to be a lot of red tape. A lot of forms you got to fill out.
A lot of boobs. We can bring the names for the different boobs back.
Ooh. Work that into it somehow?
Yep, exactly.
All right. I see where you're going.
There's room. Yeah. Well, actually, too, if we could figure it out, there's I was just hearing about this where, now I can't think of the name. There's, for Stephen King short stories, he puts them up where you can kind of bid on them and make short little films. They're like mini budget films. So they aren't supposed to be made by professionals or anything else. They're supposed to be a lower key. And most of them just go up on YouTube and stuff like that too. But we find like one like that. So we got a name behind it.
Right.
Put boobs in it. We got something.
I mean, every time anything that comes up like this, you always have to think, I forget who said it, but somebody said, anytime you think that there's something just completely ridiculous and
somebody's done it.
Somebody made the pitch of putting tornadoes with sharks, and they've made 4 of them.
Yep. There's a movie called Zombievers.
There is.
And it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah. Oh, I totally watched it.
It was great.
Have you seen Wolf Cop?
No.
Oh my God, you need to see Wolf Cop.
All right. I'll put that on the list.
Wolf Cop's about an alcoholic cop who gets bit by a werewolf and becomes a wolf cop.
That's gold.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to know any more than that. That's all you need.
That's the whole story.
Exactly.
I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, and they're coming out with a sequel. That's how well it did.
Oh, we live in such an age of just throw it all at the wall.
It's
see what
weird.
sticks.
It really is weird how some of the stuff comes out, like Turbo Kid, which is absolutely amazing, and this weird thing that just kind of exists, and that's coming out with a sequel now.
I think there needs to be more like the music crossovers, because I like concept albums.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if there's like the concept album that tells the story, and then they make the movie like of that, and then have that soundtrack just be the soundtrack.
That'd be fantastic.
There's a lot of things that could get done that way. Everybody
would love
wins.
that. Yeah, no, that would be absolutely incredible. Mixing the music with the movies, though. What was the think it was Norway had made it where they mixed David Hasselhoff into it. And it ended up going on Netflix and stuff too. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was like an internet sensation. They kickstarted the movie.
Really?
It's like a half-hour little skit about like he even has a Nintendo glove in it. And I feel like the biggest idiot because I can't think of the stupid name of the movie now.
Someone's going to leave it in the comments. Be like, oh, it's this, you jerk.
But it's like so of the 80s. Hitler's riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex in it. Like it. Like this is going to annoy the hell out of me that I can't think of the name, but it's fantastic. And David Hasselhoff shows up in it.
I mean, what else is he doing lately? Just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. I mean,
good for him.
Yeah, right? I mean, eating cheeseburgers drunk on the floor. And that's the life.
Hopefully not too often.
No, but that's the life we all dream of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just drunk on the floor eating cheeseburgers.
Maybe like in a more comfortable chair.
Fair enough.
You know.
He looked kind of comfortable, though. I think he was crying, though, too, wasn't he?
Probably.
Yeah. So I don't want to cry.
You hit a certain level.
How can you cry when you're eating a cheeseburger? They're delicious.
It must have been a low point.
Maybe somebody snuck in and it was a veggie burger.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, I'd cry then.
Like you just got to tell me first.
Yeah, exactly.
If you tell me first, I'm fine.
Well, because then I can smother it in barbecue sauce and mask the fact that it's veggies.
I don't mind veggie burgers. Like a black bean burger?
Black bean burgers are good.
Like
the
those,
other ones, like chick patties, but
they're okay.
Black bean burgers I can do. And
Yeah.
I've had some places that are really good. Valley Doyle's has some good ones. Lockdown has great ones in the city. Yeah. I'm advertising for these places. Maybe they'll give me some free food.
Who knows?
I'm going to Wesley Willis this shit. I'm just going to start dropping names, hoping somebody throws me
Just
some
all
free
of
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Goose Island?
Yeah, it works.
Hey.
Penrose is really close.
Penrose is very close. Yeah. We're actually enjoying some of the taproom IPA.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. There we go. We're plugging you. Give us some free beer, please. We need bourbon now, too. We need bourbon sponsors.
What's nearby? Fox River Distillery.
There we go.
I haven't made it in there yet, actually. We should go.
Done.
All right.
Few's in Evanston. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bloodshot one, White Lightning, was delicious.
Very tasty. Yes. It's gone.
No shit.
I shared it with people.
Well, yes.
I mean,
that's good.
I'm not going to just keep the whole bottle to myself. I don't like to drink alone. Everyone, like maybe one.
I don't like to. I end up drinking alone
it
a
happens.
lot, though. So, I'm the only one awake in my house.
I mean, the dog's on the couch with me. That counts, right?
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect. This opens up a whole new, like, room. Just a room, not like a
There's
hallway.
There's so many
or a
things
house,
that don't seem as sad because the dog's next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. We got two. That means I can get away with double the trouble.
Ooh.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. We'll get all of them together.
There we go.
And then, yeah.
It's if we just were just a little bit closer, it would make the alcoholism that much easier.
Enthusiasm.
Because
I'm not dependent on it. I don't need it. I just like it.
I like that. That sounds like alcoholic reasoning, but I like it.
I can quit anytime I want.
You're not an alcoholic till you quit.
Ooh. More alcoholic reasoning.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like to, do you feel that alcohol helps you with your creativity? Because I definitely do.
Sometimes. So I also notice
like there's a balance.
Yeah. Like there are those things like some bourbon will work. And it depends what I'm doing too. If I'm doing something where I'm not putting a lot of thought into it and just kind of going with the flow, it definitely does. But there's also other times where it's like beer tends to make me sleepy. So not as much with the creativity on that one, but hard liquor.
I'll do like beer with food.
Yes.
Like I'll have a beer with dinner and then I'm good.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a larger gathering of people. Like if there's a bunch of people, we're all hanging out and there's like a bonfire or we're at a show or something like that, then I'll just have some beers and I'll be fine. But I find that if I used to play guitar more, but when I did, I always like to have just like a little glass of whiskey just to sip on while I played.
I have a really shaky hand. So like I've noticed, especially if I'm inking or if I'm painting and stuff like that, a little bit of whiskey, bourbon, something like that just takes a little bit of that shake off where I can actually have a somewhat straight line. I mean, it no matter what, it's never going to be straight. I just can't do it. And it's nothing to do with, I do drink a lot of caffeine, but it's not to do with caffeine or anything. I've just always had, I had a teacher, my art teacher in high school made fun of me for it because of how shaky my hand was. It's always been shaky. So yeah, so I'll never be that precise. Like I could never do like, writing on windows or any of that, like hand lettering or any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would never happen.
My handwriting is terrible. So I don't feel like I could translate into that medium.
My handwriting's really
but I can
bubbly.
I can cut hair.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different shift.
Now I'm getting a little worried because you've used a straight edge on me.
I think it's a clear separation. It's not writing to me.
So you'd be a great serial killer. You couldn't write the note afterwards.
No,
you'd be a great serial
killer. Totally illegible,
Maybe
which
that's
might
why
actually
they
be
cut
better.
The letters, maybe because they are like you and can't write clean.
The sound theory. Also, I think handwriting analysis.
Yeah,
it's a little easier.
Overrated. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, that's when you write with your left
Pseudosciences.
hand instead of your right hand.
Oh, that'd be even worse. I couldn't even read that. I've tried.
That's a genius.
I've like trained myself to be ambidextrous sometimes. So like I can shoot pool.
This sounds like it's going down the wrong path right now.
I can play pool. The game.
Yeah, not pocket pool.
Not pocket pool.
Okay.
Just regular bar
Billiards.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
8 ball, 9 ball.
Yeah.
And I can shoot either right or left-handed.
I can't do anything with my left hand. It's ridiculous. It's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I ever lost use of my right hand, I'd be screwed.
Oof.
Yeah. Like it's I try. It does nothing. It's stupid. That sounds like I'm going down the wrong path too, but no, I literally mean like I try to like anything where I need to actually use both hands for, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I used to play basketball as a kid, dribbling left hand. No, it's out. Like my left foot, I'm a little better with. I played soccer all growing up, and I mean I could kick left footed, but like it always just felt funny. It's a waste. So hopefully, if I ever like lose ability in a side, it's the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hop on my right foot.
I would hope so.
Yeah, left foot, no, I'll fall. I'll die.
I'm going to test this theory later.
This sounds like a drinking game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make Chris only do things with his left side of his body.
Maybe you'll get better at it.
I could. I'd like to believe I could. Like I've thought of that. Like
I believe in you.
Yeah. Another horrible reference. There's this, have you ever heard of the movie Monkey Bone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like there was the whole thing where like he went really dark with his right hand. So like he trained himself to use his left hand. Then it was all this bright, colorful stuff. And then he was repressing all of his demented things. Like, so I'm afraid maybe the left side's like possessed by a devil and all of a sudden it'll just come out and do. But that could be great too.
Could be. Yeah. It could generate some really, really awesome content.
Yeah. Maybe I'd finally make money off my art.
Yeah. You got to be like dark and tortured.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Sunshine and Rainbows is good for like Hallmark, but
that's a tough business to get into.
It is.
Yeah, that's kind of cornered the bright, sunshiny people thing.
There was a lot of it, like all the craft fairs and stuff that are going on now, especially with the holidays coming up.
Yeah,
I want demented Christmas cards.
Yeah.
Like I want.
They'd be yes.
It's like the old, angsty teen.
Well,
deep inside,
because every like bored stay-at-home mom with beads is making jewelry now. So, you, like, I mean, I want that dark, twisted mom that's really angry she's stuck at home and like is doing something really out there. Like I want more of that.
Like she's plucking the feathers off the wings of the hummingbirds in her feeder.
Exactly. And horrible things that pop up in my head. There was an old meme, and it was emo emu.
Oh yeah,
If I had wrists, I'd cut them.
Oh, he's so sad.
Yeah.
It's because nobody understands him.
He had a little tear. See, I miss stuff like that. Like that. Yeah. Like, where are those Christmas cards? Like, yeah. Like, it's the.
I'm sure you can find them now.
It's like the Vandals Christmas album.
Yes.
Which is one of the greatest Christmas albums ever. And like Santa's Last Christmas, Christmas for My Penis.
Yep.
I mean, just classics.
Twisted Christmas is one of my favorites.
Twisted Christmas is good. The South Park Christmas album. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. Swiss Colony Beef Log. Great song.
Oh, we're making somebody's night.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to go and Google all of this stuff.
Let's see how random we can go.
I mean, you want to go down the rabbit hole? We could.
Go for it.
Oh.
Let's see.
I mean, we can go real old school. Charlie the Unicorn.
Oh my God. Salad Fingers.
Ooh. Llamas with Hats.
Did you ever go to the site Fat Chicks and Party Hats?
No. But I have a feeling that my night is about to be even darker.
So I know this has to be bullshit, but like, so again, like I was in college right at the end of the 90s, just very smidge beginning of 2000s.
Right.
So
Same as me.
yeah. So GeoCities was still around and people making their own random sites. And this was a site, and I'm sure it's out there, and it was supposedly created by a kid who had come up from Mexico and didn't have much English knowledge, and he would caption people's party pictures and they all happened to be like birthday parties with pictures of large people. Like it wasn't just women. It just happened to be called Fat Chicks and Party Hats, but it was all sorts of people, and he would caption them, and it was the most absurd things. And you know, it was some like 13-year-old white kid in his basement making shit up.
The first internet troll.
Yeah. Oh, completely. But like, it would just be like, "Arg Snugglebarf," and like, it would just be like random captions like that. But these pictures would be so ridiculous. It was genius. I highly recommend. It's a rabbit hole to go down. Like, and there were just, and all it was just page after page of just picture caption, picture caption, picture caption.
Oh, so you just scroll.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Oh yeah. That was
that's
like
dangerous.
That was like the 2 a.m, coming home drunk.
And then you lose hours.
Oh, totally. Yeah. You aren't waking up the next morning. That's how you sobered up, was looking at a website called Fat Chicks and Party Hats.
You laugh it all out.
Yeah. You think it's going to be dirty. No, it's not dirty. It's just stupid fun. I gave you something to do tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I was just talking about Homestar Runner the other day with some people. Like, that's a shame. It came back for a split second and then went away again, but just genius. Strong Bad, Trogdor.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The early days of internet.
It was a weird place.
It really was.
It's gotten weirder, but I feel like there's more of a divide now.
It's
like
gotten weirder.
there's the commercial internet, and then there's the weird internet that's still
in like
there's a little bit of bleed through.
Some of the weirdness that was great before it seems to be a bit more commercial. Like they're trying to capture that same thing, but it's not. But there's still things like, so when I was in college, Onion was a newspaper. It wasn't an online, site. But now that's kind of spread out where other sites are doing too. Hard Times is one of my favorite ones to go to, which it started doing more music focused, but then it realized like, oh no, we're really good at this. So we'll just make fun of fucking everything. Yeah. And that's been like my new go-to for satire. It's just absolutely amazing.
Pajiba is one of mine.
Oh, I don't know Pajiba.
Pajiba. Yeah. They do more, like political and topical satire.
Oh,
yeah. A lot of fun. It, lighten something about sweetness and droll.
Oh, I will be checking that out because we need political humor at this point. We need any type of humor at this point.
I mean, I think humor is important in life, just in general. But no matter how bleak things are, you need to be able to laugh.
Agreed.
It keeps you sane.
Yep. And you got to be able to make fun of yourself too.
Oh, absolutely. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah.
All right. Borders on self-deprecation.
It's
a fine line.
I definitely go into self-deprecation. So I know it. Like it's just, yeah, I'll call myself on my stupid shit. It happens.
But I think that in doing so, it's like a self-awareness.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like you're your own Skynet.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Now I just have the like that. That's all that's going through my head. That's a shame how that whole franchise kind of went down. It started off so good.
It kind of like bobbled around at the end.
Yeah. I still don't
Like
mind Terminator 3.
1 and 2 was strong. 3 wasn't terrible, but it could have been a lot better.
Yes.
Salvation lost me.
And
I liked it as a pocket movie.
Yeah.
Like by itself, the storyline was contained, but it didn't mesh with the rest of the storylines at all.
But Christian Bale as John Connor should have been great.
It should have been.
Yeah. It wasn't, but it should have been.
Right.
Yeah. But that was also the same one where he had that huge fucking fit where he was like yelling at the lighting guy and everything too. Like, yeah, he just lost it.
It happens. People get pushed to a point.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to set somebody off.
And if we always had microphones recording around us, we'd all wind up in that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things I've said here after the clients have left.
I just get yelled at. Like all people would hear is me sighing all the time. I get yelled at home all the time because I sigh. I don't even realize I sigh, and they think I'm mad at them. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just sighed. So it'd be a whole lot of sighing.
Like a defeated sigh, or just like a fed up kind of sigh.
I compare it to like Michael Jordan always sticking his tongue out when he's doing like basketball. Like
like a punctuation.
Yeah, like it's just something I do. Like I don't realize it. I mean, there's definitely times where I'm like, oh fuck, but most of the time it's just me being me, and I don't notice it, and then I get called out for it. I'm like, I don't know. Like when I'm drawing, like my ex-wife brought it up to me when I'm sitting there drawing. I do it all the time. And she happened to notice that I was doing it. And it's just even when it's me, I think I just hate myself. Go back to the self-deprecation aspect. I'm just always sighing at myself.
It's just rooted in you.
What the fuck? I'm really amping up the swears at the tail end of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because you realize you're like, oh, wait, no, I haven't hit a quota yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I should throw them in there.
We need a little ticker so I can just go ding, 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 ding.
I have one.
No, oh, shit.
You should let me know.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah. I think that's a good point to end it on. Just a nice, solid block of swearing.
Yeah, that works.
And we'll call it a night.
That works for me. But I didn't plug myself, so I'm going to plug myself.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Plug
that sounds horrible. That didn't help either.
I'm going to plug myself.
Yeah,
Title
I'm going
of
to
your
plug
sex
myself.
tape.
Hey, I started talking about a comic called Fisted. Now I'm going to plug myself. Hey, what can you do?
I told you, we can talk about whatever you want.
Fisted and plugs. Hey, it was a great night. I can't wait to explain this to the kid tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't.
But anyway, yeah, because you asked about myself, and I never even went into the fact that I do a web comic called Wannabe. Just real quick, because I don't want to go long for. But it's what I do is I come out every Wednesday and come out with a new comic where I talk about a new album that came out. So I call it a 6-panel music blog. So it's like an old school comic strip where I take 6 panels talking about new music coming out, and just so happened to be on November 25th doing an event on the south side of the city. That's a Wannabe art show with live music. Bloodshot Records is going to be there. John Langford's playing it. And so if people want to look into it, it's called Wannabe's Pop-Up Record Shop at Blue Island Beer Company.
Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Fuck.
Shit. You guys have a wonderful night.
See ya.
Throw one more in there.
Fuck. That was good. That was in unison too. Yeah.
Fox Valley Voice.